wanna move, you're in style. Just forget about life for a while. See the world through our eyes, under picture perfect skies. It just makes me wanna, hey, 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 let's get away from your mind just once in a while. I wanna, hey, 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 just come away with a smile.
The Adventures of Mark and Brian.
95.5 KLOS, Mark and Brian program, where today, here on the Adventures of Mark and Brian, we want to test our limits of manliness.
We're going to get into a tiny little raft and shoot the Whitewater Rapids.
We're a little uptight in that we've never done this kind of thing before.
We're not sure we want to do this alone.
So we're going to do what any red-blooded American would do. Call our dads and invite them to go along with us.
All right, you ask my dad, I'll ask your dad.
Art,
Yeah?
are you interested in going whitewater rafting with Mark and Brian?
Yes, I am very interested in
Art, what is in? There's one. My dad wants to go. Luther, are you with us or against us?
But I'm going to be like a stubborn calf and have my toes stuck in the sand. But under the circumstances, yes, I'd like to come.
All right. People from NBC will be calling you, and, you guys don't have to fly first class or anything, do you?
Well, it'd be nice.
Go in, Art. Get in there, baby. We'll see what we can do. Bye, Dad. I love you.
Love you, son.
Luther,
Uh-huh.
thank you for saying yes, and can't wait to see both you and Art. While we're waiting for our dads to fly out to Los Angeles, we hopped in the Mark and Brian mobile and went exploring to find the nearest river rapids to run.
Needless to say, with LA's fine freeway system, we were there in no time. We finally made it to the picturesque LA River. We stood there in awe.
Were we really ready to put our raft in this river?
Nope. They said go down the LA River and practice. This is not good. I gotta tell you, man, LA's got to work on their river.
That's the point, exactly.
And why it is we have to come here and do
I'm
this.
not getting in that.
And then look at this. We're carrying our own damn boat. Did you see a syringe? Did you see the syringe float by? Look, there's a nurse. There's a nurse floating right behind the syringe. There's a nurse. There's a dead nurse in this river.
Frankly, we were looking for something a little more challenging. So we drove to the base of the Sierra Nevada mountains, to the raging Kern River, where we found world champion whitewater rafter Dean Ferrandini.
We want to bring our dads along, and we want it to be an exciting adventure. I mean, the roughest whitewater you can get us to.
I think if you want to do that, it's the place to come, but you got to train up a little bit because taking your fathers down and doing the water the way you want to do it is something that's going to take a little bit of work.
Why did I know he was going to say that?
It always involves training.
Seems like every episode about this time,
Let's go
somebody
train.
must go learn. Well, Dean, they told us you were the guy to teach us.
All right.
So, by looking at us, do you think we have what it takes?
No.
All right.
No,
Fine. Summed up. Our first lesson from Dean was how to inflate a raft. He said it would build upper body strength and character.
Good.
To sharpen up paddling and maneuvering skills, Dean tried to teach us the near impossible, how to roll a kayak in the roughest whitewater.
Okay, so it was at the pool at the Beverly Hilton Hotel. But it was still dangerous.
It was!
I think I did that well. I don't think I did be taught anymore.
Dean, however, felt otherwise. He kept flipping us into the water, and as soon as we made it back up, he'd flip us back down again.
There were moments when we thought we would never make it. Dean would just watch us struggle.
Grab me.
We were beginning to hate Dean.
Grab me. Grab me.
How was that? Good. Dean, how many lives have you saved?
I think over 20.
Wow, man. And 4.
You're the lean, see?
And you pulled it up.
Finally, after 3 soggy hours of struggling in the hotel pool, success.
No, wait. I really dug the hair whip. That was cool. It's a kayaking tube.
Now that we mastered the kayak roll, we felt the need to test our abilities on some savage whitewater.
Ow!
So what if we were only at Raging Waters theme park? We had the run of the place, and we were going to make the most of it.
If you would sit there in your living rooms and just dig this man's hair. Check that out if you would, huh? Just dig all of me while you're at it. Am I beach worthy or what? A glass of milk with hair. Sorry. I'm sorry. Just let go of it. Sorry, sir. The problem was, see, he was trying to pull me in.
Look, it wasn't me.
No, what it was, let me just say.
She says she has to escort us from the park for tearing down one of her
But let us explain what happened. See, he was trying to pull me in, which was an illegal thing over there. You know, you're not supposed to be playing around in here.
Okay, well, I'll have to escort you out anyways, and then we can deal with it.
Well, we're doing a TV show, though, so...
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to...
You're kidding me.
Destroying a
We're being kicked out of the park.
Are you kidding?
Are
you guys kidding? You're kidding.
No. Just because Brian tore down a sign.
Mark told me.
I had
he
nothing
told
to
me.
do
Mark
with
told
it.
me.
Brian did the whole thing.
Don?
It was at this point that we were really looking forward to the arrival of our dads.
Why am I getting nervous? Why am I getting nervous here?
Well, for one, there's 7 cameras pointed at us. We got microphones above us, and our dads are rolling
Maybe
in.
that's it. You can't see this, but this thing's hanging around. Now, if this doesn't make you nervous, what does?
This looks like something came off Chewbacca.
Yeah.
Listen, before you do that for my dad, make sure he knows what's coming.
Yeah, okay.
I'm scared.
Hi, Luther.
We have this respect. I think every boy who has a father he respects has this thing inside him. And when you know your dad's going to come in the house, you know he comes home from work, or you're going to see him for the first time, I mean, you straighten up and you sit tall.
It's the old days coming back to you.
When Mom goes, wait till your father gets home. I kind of feel that right now. See, what have I done?
Because Dad's coming home.
I didn't balance my checkbook. I've never done that.
Well, yeah, I was going to say like you could.
How would my dad do it?
There they are. They're coming off together. They're coming off together.
This was going to be great. We were going to have an adventure with our dads.
It had been 15 years since we'd been together with them on a camping trip. We were excited and a little bit nervous, too.
How are you?
Oh, good. How was the flight?
Oh, that was all right. Well, what do you say we meet America? America? Luther Thompson? Art Phelps.
Hi there.
Art Phelps, Luther Thompson? America.
Is that what you do? You're talking to that?
Y'all look good.
When's it due?
Needless to say, we had a lot to catch up on. But first things first.
If we 4 guys were going to forge out into the wilderness, then we had to stock up on some camping gear.
If you see anything we need, just pick it out, all right, Luther?
Right now, this thing, Brian, you've seen this.
Yeah, the cold starter
You
deal?
got to have some of that.
Yeah.
We may not be able to get a fire going.
Well, and also, better have one of these just in case we can't get that going.
Absolutely.
What's the flat skillet or the round skillet? What do you think?
Both, because one for bacon, one for cakes.
For cakes. Pancakes. Oh, pancakes.
Flipping them bad boys. Have that going.
There you are. Chili and beans. Chili and beans. Right there.
Dad, I've been with you when you've had chili and beans. I don't think this is a wise move.
You're going to enjoy this.
This one here? Yeah, that's like Chuck Connor's user. And cups. Dad?
No. Get a blanket, bring it along, a can of beans, take a fishing pole. That's all we need.
What about electricity for the VCR? We might have guests.
Now, Art, I know you took Brian camping a great deal. Was there any one particular item that you had to have for the successful?
But looking at this, are we going camping or are we homesteading?
Dad's got an attitude.
You know, I tell you, the one thing so far that no one's really brought up is fashions. We need to be looking good while we're camping.
That's right. We don't want to look like a bunch of geeks out there. We want to...
Who's going to be looking at you?
Well, you do. America, basically. That we look...
Dress to kill.
All right. Having bought just the bare essentials to make our dads comfortable, we were now confident that we had impressed them with our wilderness knowledge.
All right.
It was now time to hit the road.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway, looking for adventure, and whatever comes our way. Yeah, darling, go make it happen. Take the world in a loving embrace. Fly all of the skies at once and
We headed north into the heart of the Kern River wilderness.
We stopped alongside the road here. We couldn't help but notice this sign. Danger, do not swim. 157 lives lost in Kern River since 1968.
Probably pretty dangerous to stop and read the signs as well because there's bullet holes all over this thing. So do not swim or stop and read the sign. Since we were going to be spending the next few days in the wild, we wanted to make sure our dads were going to be safe.
So we hooked up with mountain guide Tom Johnson and trail boss Reed Hopkins, who talked to us about surviving out there in the wilderness.
We'll probably encounter some snakes along the trail. There's a really substantial amount of danger involved. We're going to do our best to see that nothing happens to you, but it's definitely not for everybody.
Snakes really are the only thing that's going to bother us out here?
Well, we've had trouble in the past with the bears. They're always interested in whatever it is we're taking along with us to eat.
Bears?
Bears.
Are you doing this to your kid to scare us?
There are no bears out here, are there?
We have a lot of bears. So if they come into camp...
Man,
We forgot you killed one when you were 5 years old.
Hey, I'm not far into the woods. I've been in the woods all my life.
Skin me a bar.
Suits me.
Well, fine. When we have one around, you go wrestle with it and then let us know when you're done.
We drove out here and we saw the sign. You know what sign we're talking about? 157 have been killed since 1968.
They haven't kept that sign up to date, really. There's some extra ones
Oh, gang, it's just going to be a great weekend.
Camping.
Don't touch that remote. We're coming right back. Before we mounted up for the ride to the Kern River, Dean and Reed had a different idea about the amount of equipment we needed.
Careful, kids. Come in. Hey, come in.
With a lightened load, we gracefully mounted our mighty steeds.
Once in the saddle, it was just like being on the Ponderosa.
Our trek into the wilderness began.
4 iron men and their guides pitted against the forces of nature.
I feel like the Brady Bunch goes to the Grand Canyon. Our journey would take a full 2 days ride.
We traveled up and over mountains, traversing along old mining trails, and finally down into the valley wherein lies the mighty Kern River.
Dad?
Brian, which one you think's got the bigger belly? My dad or the horse?
I wouldn't want to choose.
This is the best part of the whole trip.
It's kind of fun, isn't it?
Come on, dear sugar.
At the end of our first day, we made camp along Brush Creek, one of the many streams feeding the Kern River.
It was here that we got a chance to do a little fishing with our dads.
Finally, just a moment to kick back, relax, and spend some time with the 2 men who made us the outdoor adventurers we are today.
Oh, God. A little more pressure. There you got it. There you go.
Yeah. Oh,
Right behind that. Oh, God. All right, now it's dead, right?
Of course it's there. And Brian is just enjoying it so much, you know.
You know, you're probably sitting there at home thinking, we're the luckiest guys on earth. Cooking our own meal we caught out of that river. Just 4 guys alone in the wilderness.
We got the stream, we got the mountains, we got Mother Nature, And we have an entire camera crew of about 30 people.
Could you
sitting
swing over and
back
get
here
that
behind
right
us.
there? See?
Look at them.
There they are.
Look at this.
Just alone in the wilderness. We're going to have to divvy this fish up kind of thin.
Sunrise, day 2. We were burning daylight, so we hit the trail early in an effort to reach the Kern River by nightfall.
Our destination was Tombstone, the first whitewater run of our adventure.
After a full day's ride and some very sore behinds, we finally made it to the Kern River, one of the most challenging whitewater rapids in the country.
Never had we seen anything so beautiful, yet so treacherous. It was time to make camp and reflect on our day's ride and rest up for tomorrow's adventure.
There's just nothing like sitting around a warm campfire on a moonlit night with our dad, singing those songs we all know so well.
You picked a fine time to leave me, Lucille. 4 hungry children and a crop in the field. Been through some sad times, been through some bad times. This time won't heal. You picked a fine time to leave me, Lucille. Well, we cook up.
Daybreak on the Kern River. Once again, we were burning daylight.
Again, we're still burning daylight?
What's a John Wayne thing? After the quick breakfast, Dean's crew checked and rechecked our safety gear.
If you fall out of the boat, the number one thing is you listen to the captain. You don't get back into the boat. First instinct is to climb back in the boat. Don't get back in the boat unless the captain says get back into the boat. There may be something downstream he sees that's going to be a problem for you. The way to stay in the boat, the way to keep the thing going, is not only to work as a team, but don't back off. Everything we see down there, you attack. We go into a wave, you reach into that wave, you attack the wave.
We're all looking forward to this. We still, we're concerned about you guys as well as ourselves, but let's be careful and try to be a team member, and if one of us goes in the water, listen to the captain and let's do whatever he says.
Let's try to remember all the rules he gave us and try to have fun and no cuss words. It's national TV. Not even 1 or 2? No, not even 1 or 2.
Dean wasted no time. We put out into a calm area of the river for some last-minute instructions.
Right turn, left turn, left turn, left turn, left turn.
Once Dean was confident in our maneuvering abilities, it was time to head for Tombstone.
Be listening to what he says and why he says what he says. Both of you.
Hey, lay off my dad, man. I got something to say to my dad.
Okay.
I'll say
I was just trying to make sure that they
Lay
fully
off,
understood the
man.
message
My
there, and I
dad.
wanted to make sure that
Dad?
it was passed around.
use your paddle, slap him back of the head.
0 hour. And the time had come to put all of our training to the test. Once we hit the rapids, there was no turning back. Just as we were entering Tombstone, we hit our first surprise.
Rock, rock. Back here, lean back, lean back, lean back. Oh, God, that's so fast. Hey, you got it, yeah! How'd that happen? We hit a rock. Everybody all right?
Oh, sure. Once we got off the rock, we blasted into the heart of Tombstone and then into Satan's Slot.
Good job. Haven't had this much fun since my wedding night. Or last night, Art. Or last night.
So far, so good. But we still had to face the Grim Reaper.
This rapid alone has claimed several lives. As we surveyed the run, Dean was worried.
This section is a pretty tough section, and there's a lot of stuff down below that you could get in some real trouble with. And this section, I think your fathers need to come out of the boat for this section, and this is one that we're going to have to dig in because it's a fairly dangerous section.
All right, you're going to have to tell them. Yeah, because they loved what we did before.
Well, they've already told us that we're being overprotective and to stop it. So you tell them.
Well, here's the deal. He told us, and we asked him to tell you guys because we didn't want to do it. Because I know you both want to go down there.
And see, he's the pro. He's looked at the rapids. He thinks it's a bit rough, and he's decided that it's best if we just do it ourselves.
I'll tell you the truth. The truth of it is they're very concerned. They're very concerned about this. I told them it's going to be a wild ride and everything else, and they are concerned about you, and I am concerned about you too. And they're worried that you might go swimming, and it's a long, wild rapid. The thing is that they may go swimming.
So if we go down, fine, but you guys stay up here and watch it if you would.
Sorry, guys.
Okay, we appreciate you. Nice hat, Luther.
And it was a good thing our dads didn't come along.
Forward hard, forward hard. That's it, left turn. Left turn. Forward. Whoa!
That was close.
We were concentrating so hard on fighting the river, we didn't even notice that Dean and his partner had fallen out of the raft.
After conquering the Grim Reaper, we joined back up with our dads and had a day on the river we would never forget.
All right, before we say goodbye, we just want to say that both Mark and I are lucky enough to have dads that we're close to, and that we can invite on things like this. This is just a great deal of fun for us to do, and we're just glad they came along to share it with us.
We also want to thank NBC and the producers for allowing this to happen, because we don't get to do this very often. This is unique. To our dads, they mean the most in the world to us, and we were deeply concerned about their safety, but now that it's done and they enjoyed it, we're happy too.
We love you guys.
Oh, we love you.
They do.
All right.
They really do.
Join us, kiss. Let's do it.
That tastes kind of salty.
All right. We invite you to join us next week for the adventures of Mark and Brian right here on NBC. We appreciate you watching. Thanks.
Hey, honey, could you ask the kids to turn down the stereo?
No, that's the VCR. They're watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. You know, it's their favorite show, and Blossom, too.
But aren't those shows on NBC Monday night?
Yeah, the kids always watch Fresh Prince and Blossom Monday night and tape it.
So what are these shows about?